Welcome to the Deb Colitti Show. An hour of commentary, opinions, and conversations on topical social and lifestyle issues. And now here's your host, Deb Colitti.
Hi, everybody. This week, how are you? Here with me is Wes Talbot.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Are you happier than you were last week?
Oh, because we had the happiness show.
Yeah, we started this show kind of going in, and then we ended up with an hour chock-a-block filled with really good techniques. It was really loaded with information, I think, on how to daily do little exercise and being happy. Did you do any?
I was just going to ask, what did you do?
I did the I didn't do the write the email thing, although I meant to.
What was the write the email thing?
Well, every morning you get up and before you look at your inbox, you write an email to somebody else on your greater list that you want to say thank you to, express gratitude for, kind of thing. And that's the one Sean Acor was doing. I planned to do that, but I didn't. What I did do is wake up every morning and say at least 3 happy things I was grateful for.
Oh.
And sometimes they were kind of silly and stupid.
Really?
Or delusional.
Yeah, that always works.
Yep.
I guess I'd be grateful that I didn't have to write that email to somebody every day.
Because you couldn't, or because you're too cranky?
Well, because I didn't have to.
Because you didn't have to.
So
I guess it's a gratitude thing. And we're following up this week from happiness to friendship, and what it means to be a good friend, and that buzzword that we hear a lot in the media now, frenemies.
Frenemy, yep.
Let's get a couple different definitions on that. So friends, frenemies, and bromance. Do you have any bromances?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you have a crush on?
I don't have a crush on him, but I have romance. I saw that they called Rizzoli and Isles a womanance.
What the hell is that?
They were trying to do the bromance. And
what's a Rizzoli and a thing and a thing?
Rizzoli and Isles is they're two people that were originally in literature. It's like suspense and mysteries and stuff. And a series of them. Now they're a series on Lifetime or something.
Well, aren't you smart? I don't watch that show.
Womanance. I just saw it on the front of a magazine. So I said, boy, that's stretching bromance.
Well, we could go for it,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And frenemies are false friends. And, you know, have you ever heard this saying, Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude. Is that that comes back to haunt you or something like that?
No, it's when people derive pleasure from the misfortune of others. When they kind of go, oh, they finally got their comeuppance and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Have you ever experienced that? I have to say, when somebody has wronged me and somebody gets wronged in the future, I call it karma, but really it's probably Schadenfreude.
Oh, boy.
Which isn't very nice, and I'm not proud of it, but I am copying to it.
Is that why you are still friends with someone, so that makes you a frenemy?
No. Well, there are those people that you keep close and tolerate and make nice, and sometimes you feel like you're shining on, and it doesn't feel honest. So, in the world...
Why would you do that? Why would you?
Because you got to get along and go along.
Okay.
I've learned in my...
Because they're part of an extended community.
Yeah,
of
they're in your
something?
greater good.
Okay.
And as one of our guests coming up talks about, Janis actually from Social Jane, Janis Kupferer from Social Jane will be on later in the show in about 10 minutes or sooner.
Yeah.
She actually in her writing speaks of about how things change over your lifetime and friends and who you keep close and how in segmenting friends in a way. Some are very close and you keep forever. And
of course.
Some are those that you know and have a good time with now and then, but they wouldn't be the ones to call when you get a bad diagnosis or, you really need somebody to count on.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily frenemies or false friends, but I do find in my long career of navigating the world of business and friends that I've had to learn certain ones you confront and deal with, and some you go, you know what, it's not that important. Step back, clean out your closet, decide who inspires you and who you want to hang out with.
I guess. Yep.
And I'm sure I've been cleansed out of some other closets too.
Well, that's one of your Tao of Debbie's was the hold yourself large, right?
That's right.
So that applies. Because if a friend isn't being a good friend and there's really no basis for them in your life, then you have to hold yourself large and say, I'm bigger than that. I deserve a better friend.
And
than
I
you
don't like
being.
how I feel when I'm behaving the way I behave with those friends. I don't want to see the competitive and jealous come out of me. It's not pretty. And you got to go to bed with that in your mind every night too. So I liked what I've learned through the years, and I haven't always behaved perfectly, that's for sure. And I bet you all haven't either, right?
Well, we're learning a lot from this show.
That's what I love about this show, from sexting and texting to monogamy. And, we have so many great issues coming up and topics. And we get calls and letters and emails on, how about this? How about that? We want to dig into these things and get under it, which we're going to do today on this Friends, Frenemies, and Bromance. Who is your bromance? You never said.
I don't have. Here's another thing, though. I would encourage people to go back and look at the archives of the show.
Yeah.
Because we're very proud of them, and we think that they're pretty good topics. Sometimes we're ahead of the curve with the topics.
Yeah, could we just mention which is the one we were Myth of Monogamy?
Myth of Monogamy, and then the next week it was in the New York Times Sunday magazine or something.
And we can take part credit, but Beverly Golden wrote about it first.
That's right.
And I saw it, because I'm so ahead of the curve, I saw it, and so let's do a show on it.
You're squashing the curve.
And then New York Times said that Deb Colitti, she's genius.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That will go in a Remarkable Hour.
That will go in Delusional Hour.
Okay. So, we've had tons of topics, and we are going to build on those. I'm working right now on, you're going to like this one, porn, sex and porn, and why does it need to be a dirty little secret, porn?
Okay.
Do men use it? Women? A feminist point of view on porn. Oh. Interesting.
Okay.
Guest coming up on that. Also, health and fitness, which is talked about widely, but I really want to get into what works, why it works, what doesn't.
You mean exercise?
And both exercise and health and diet. Because all these fads, we talked about it in one of the Remarkables and infomercial things that, all these fads, I have a theory, and I'm going to use it over and over again. If all these pills, HGC, these fad diets, all these things, if they worked, Oprah would be thin. Right?
You would
if
think.
There is one person in the world closest to the pinnacle of
everything
expertise,
happening,
happening, Bob Green, her trainer,
all
would
the
have
expertise you can buy.
Yeah, if there were a shot, a pill, or something, if it were discovered, she would be the owner of it.
That's very good.
Isn't
Deborah.
it true?
That's
So
true.
I want to do a whole show on
good.
what works, what doesn't work, shutting your mouth.
But today we're talking about...
Yeah. Today we're talking about Friends, Frenemies, and Bromances.
Great.
And our guest coming up, you're keeping me on track, good boy,
Yes.
Nicole Rodgers from a really cool site called Role Reboot. And I came across an article that she wrote, and she's very interesting on friends, gender, and also Janis Kupferer from Social Jane, who has written a lot about friends and frenemies and what it means to be a good friend. And we all want to be better friends, don't we?
Sure.
Why not? You're inspired. I have to. Oscar Wilde, you always quote him, and God, he was something.
Yeah.
He wrote something that's kind of snarky. But
good. I want to hear any Oscar
snarky.
Wilde quote. Go.
He says, always forgive your enemies because nothing annoys them more.
That's right. That's a good Oscar Wilde one.
That's a good one. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to come back with our guest, Janis Kupferer from Social Jane on Friends and Frenemies. Stay tuned. You're going to like it. Come on back.
You're listening to The Deb Colitti Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.